Hey everyone, once again welcome back. In the previous video we generated our access token using the refresh token and we have added this into the separate function, right? And today in this video we are going to fetch the calendar events, right? So we now got the calendar token, right? And we can generate those we can get those events from the calendar, right? So how to do this? So I'm going to follow a series. So this one is made by this web dev matics, right? So this guy has also a YouTube channel and he's shooting awesome stuff, right? You can check its channel. I'm not promoting this one, but I personally like the videos of this guy. Okay, and this one is repository where we will follow our everything. So let's click on this app http and I'm going to go to the calendar stuff and show you that what we will copy it from here. So here this guy is using first constructor to get its token, right? But we are getting this using socialite. We are not using the directly Google API client, right? So we implemented this for our ease. It's very easy to use with the laravel socialite, so that's why we generated the token from the laravel socialite. And now we are going to cover this stuff, right? How we can grab the events from the calendar, right? So we are going to implement this stuff. Like first we are going to setting our token, then getting its events, then fetching them, and then we'll display them in our web page. Okay, so let's get started. So here in this controller we have implemented the calendar controller. It's an open calendar. Here we can implement this out, right? We have a user which is logged in, right? And we can pull the logged in user refresh token. We stored this in the previous video. Here in the user against this user, and if you don't know how to add this, so you can watch the previous video. This one is a full course. Okay, this one is a refresh token, and then I'm going to implement this stuff here Google service, right? It's simple. Like if I add this, so I'm going to now remove this one because we already have this refresh token. We can generate the access token from here, so I'm going to use this here, getting the refresh token and then getting the token from the refresh token, right? You can also do it here. One more thing, let me open this access token. Here you can add additional thing like if this access token is expired, then you will generate the access token, otherwise it will return the user access token which is already in the database. So it's around I think after the 60 or 120 minutes this token is expired. So it's good practice to get the access token when it's expired, not every time generating the refresh token, but I'm shooting this for the demonstration purposes. So here I'm getting the access token directly from the refresh token. Okay, and here I'm going to, it's work if you use this for the 10 time 20 time, it's working fine, right? Okay, and here I'm going to fetch those events. First I need to pull this from this Google service calendar, and for this you need to install the Google library which we already installed. If I move to the composer.json, so here we need the Google library. So let me find it here, Gazelle Sanctum paint, and no, it's not there. Package.json, no, sorry, not the JSON, it's a composer.log. I think I have installed this in the previous video. I'm not sure why it's not there. Google, okay, Google, no, it's not installed. So for this you need to install the here library Google API client. Here a client library for accessing the Google API. So you need to install this library here. Just copy this and paste the URL here. So just paste it here and hit enter. So this will install the Google API client into your application, and yes, this one is now added here. So let's wait for a moment to complete this process, and then I'm going to move further to the next step. So it's doing behind the scene, so let's go here. So we need to add this at the top, so let me add this like use, and that's it, like this. And then here we need to pass the access token, right? So we have access token at the top here, right? So we are passing it to here. And then what's next? So you need to go here to the repository again, and then you need to set the calendar ID. The primary, this one is used for the by default ID. So if you have different one, you can pass this, but this primary is work for default one. If you have a calendar ID, you can pass it here, but if you don't have, take it easy, it will work for you. Okay, just copy this out and paste it here, right? And let's make it a little bit more double and indentate it. Okay, so this one is calendar ID, and here we are getting this using this service object. We are getting the events, and then we are listing those events using the calendar ID, right? And we are getting those results here, right? And this will return the result to us. So you can also apply here, let me add this into the try catch. So if we have something went wrong, so this will throw an exception and we can catch those exceptions. So catch and exception, this would be always use this exception native class, right? So this one contain all of the exception, so you don't need to write here a specific exception. Okay, and if we have an exception, we can return back with this exception with error unable to complete the request due to this error. Okay, and what's the error? So error would be exception, and get the message from this exception, right? Like this. So this one come from this exception class. Okay, and then here it's still in the installation process, so let's wait for a few moments to complete this one. So this one is pretty simple. We are accessing the calendar service, we are getting its event and returning this here, right? And we'll display them here, and for the later on we will also add them into our blade file, where we will display all of the event name, their date time, and so on things. Okay, and yes, it's almost installed and generating the optimized file. So now let's come back to our application. So I have logged in using localhost 8000/dashboard, and here I'm going to access those events. So how I can access this open calendar? So there is any route, it's auth, only auth, there is no prefix added. So I can add this calendar here to access those events, calendar, and let me check that it's completed. No, it's still in the progress, so let's wait for a few moments. Okay, and here I'm going to, here we don't need to do anything extra, so just close this out, and I will also add this link in the description to find it for you easily. Okay, just save this one, Google Calendar assets. I have this file, so let me open this out and paste this here. Remaining, I have added the above. I'm not going to add this, I'm going to add this later on. Okay, and let's see this, and it's still in the progress. Here we have a middleware, and we are adding this out. So here we are implementing this Google/login, then we are redirecting back. So we implemented this Google login in the dashboard, so we can protect this using the auth, right? So I'm going to add these one to inside this auth middleware, right? So this one, so let's copy them and then paste it here, and our process is also completed. I'm going to hit this calendar route. So let's submit this request and say constructor must be instances of Google Google client. Okay, so here we are using the must be type of Google client, so we are passing the access token. Let me review that, what's the access token is returning. So just to dd this access token, let's get refresh, and yes, we are getting the access token, but this should be the calendar object. Okay, let me review it from the documentation. Oh my god, no, Google service calendar is fine. So here I need to set I need to add those things. I haven't added this, so I need to add this calendar scope, and let me check that how I can generate this client, and then I'm coming back. Okay, so first we need to generate the Google client from here, so let me copy it from here, just go back here. Here we need to set the access token, so client to access token. So let me add this method here. So this would be, we need to pass the access token, and after this we can generate this. So here the Google or calendar token, something like this, and then we can pass this to this calendar API, right? We can also, okay, it's fine. Let's go back and give it a refresh, and let's wait for a moment to complete this request. It's still in the progress, so let me open the here calendar.google.com to see the events here. Say that, oh my god, I need to add this here at the top, so let's add this use calendar. Let's refresh this again. Let me open my calendar here, call to undefined method client. Oh my god, its name is access let me review it from here. Get access set access token. It's let me type this set access token. Sorry guys, I'm doing mistake here. Constructor must be type of Google client. Okay, so here I set this so I need to pass this here, the calendar, I need to pass it here, the client of Google, not here, what I'm doing here, sorry guys, it's a little bit confusing for me because I did this differently. So we set this inside this client, so we don't need this variable anymore. So let's get refresh, and I'm very sure this will work. Okay, let's wait for a moment. I'm doing these mistakes on the in the live environment, right? So you can learn these learn from these series that how you can improve these stuff, like if you are doing getting some error, that how to fix that error, how to find this error, how to check that what's the error, right? So there are a bunch of things, so you will also learn this from this series. So that's why I'm shooting this in the live environment. Okay, still waiting for this, and it says that page isn't redirected too many times. What the, okay, maybe it's redirecting back. No, let me dd the exception here, exception, maybe it's redirecting too many times, message here, and also return those event, right? So let's go here and save this one, and let's get refresh. Yeah, we now got this request had insufficient authentication scope. Okay, so we are getting now exception that we don't have any scope, right? So we need to add the scope. So let's go here in the login stuff. Let me go to the social login controller. So here we need to set the calendar scope, right? So if I go here, so you can set the calendar scope like this one. So let's copy this from here and add this. So here think scope or add scope, maybe add scope. Let me verify it from the documentation to add scope, and then I'm going to pass this calendar and just use this namespace at the top, and let me verify it from here. So laravel.com, so this would be the laravel socialite. Let's find this laravel socialite. So let's click on this. So here I'm going to make sure that what's the set scope, just scopes. So just to go back here and add this scopes, and now we need to log in our user again. So just try this Google login. I'm going to sign in with the same mail. That's going to update my account. It says log has not completed the Google verification. The app is currently being tested. So I told this error about when I'm implementing this stuff. So you need to add your mail whenever you are testing this application. So I think added this mail, right? So let me confirm it here. So if you want to give access to another user, or you want to use it from the different mail, so you need to add your mail into these testing users, right? So here let me find I think I'm using the different one. So let me open the exact profile console.google.com. okay, and here let's go back to the auth consent. So here we can define our tested users, right? Let's click on this, and yes, I don't have any user. So let me add the laravel. Let me copy it from here. I'm going to add this here because I want to test this from this one. So let's save this one, and I'm going to open this here, local host 8000. Let's get refresh. Let's click on this login stuff, and this will be not this, contact at cdlcell.com. Password would be 128. Just log in this, and now I'm going to connect my Google account. Just click on this connect Google account, and yes, I'm going to click on this this mail. So this one is now registered, so it will not ask me that your email isn't added, right? So it's telling me that your this app is not published. That's why you are getting this message that you want to still continue. If you back to safety, so it will return back, right? I want to continue this because I trust this application. I built this myself. So click on this continue, and it says that this one want to access your calendar. Do you want to give it access? Yes, I want to give it access. So just click on this continue. Okay, and yes, now this one is this user information is saved against this user. But if I go here now, let's go back here. I'm going to now give it a refresh. So now this one have the different refresh token which have the calendar scope. So this wouldn't throw that you have authentication scope. So just give it a refresh, and it will fetch all of the events of this user. Still not getting the it says that you have insufficient scope. I don't know why it's throwing this again. We have, let me access it here. Maybe Google maybe this Chrome has cached. So it says as insufficient authentication scope, right? So in my previous project I have implemented like this, so it worked, but I have added this differently too. So let me copy this same from there, then I'm going to add this scope, right? So here I'm going to go to the social controller. I'm going to copy this calendar scope from here. Before this I tested both one, but they are working fine. I don't know why it's not working. So let me check that. Yeah, and then you can add this after this one. So let's paste this one and let me try it one more time. Let me first visit the dashboard and then connect the Google account again. Okay, this one, yes, continue, click on this calendar, continue, and then yes, it's indicated. So I'm going to now access the calendar. Okay, yes, now I'm getting those calendar events, right? And its summary is demo event. It's created inside this 22 10 12, right? So let me access its calendar calendar.google.com. I'm going to verify that it has this event. Let's go back on the 10 date of, I think this would be the, yeah, this would be the October. So let's go back to the October 10, and yes, this demo event is, no, it's not in the 12, it should be inside the, yeah, it's inside the 12:10, sorry, 12:10 and 7:51. Just open this out and it's giving like this. So I'm going to now delete this event and I'm going to add this in the current date today. So let's add this here, dummy event. Let's click on this, save, and yes, this one is added. So now let's give it a refresh to get all the token. So only have one event, so dummy event, the date is this one, and we are successfully able to get this event. And in the next video we are going to display those events in a proper table, right? We are going to fetch its summary, its date, time, and so on things. So thank you so much for watching the video, and if you think that it's informative for you, subscribe this channel and share it with your friends. So in this way you can support me. Thank you. Bye bye.